That's not what I thought happened. Oh, well, maybe we'll do like that. How's your life? We don't want to do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, 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 y'all. I don't even know why that blind down like that. Sylvie414, and hi, Sylvie. You're rough edge lady. And look, y'all, I am looking a little rough. But this is what I say about that. Right now, y'all is getting me how y'all is getting me because y'all is getting me 5 whole days. 5 whole days. And I know that the God always has its way. So I know that I will be doing what the God says and, putting on the persona. But I also believe that the God has given me the grace, I'm not even gonna say the opportunity, the grace to get used to this. Like when I start a new job, I might start drinking coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker. Generally, I only start drinking coffee again since I stopped. I used to be a coffee drinker, but since I stopped, generally I only start drinking coffee again if I start a new job, just especially if it's early morning. And I'm not a morning person, but nobody just wants to get up and be running out of the house early in the morning just to do something that they have to do. Now, if it's something that you want to do, yeah. Something that you have to do, challenge to me. I'll speak for me, and I'll just leave that right there. But yeah, it's kind of like that. Like, I only drunk coffee when I started a new job until I moved into the room that I was prior to getting my new place. I drank coffee there because it was cold. I love my landlord. It was cold in that house. My landlord and my other roommate used to sit in that house in their blankets, but with the air on. They would turn the air on during the winter time. It be cold. I just used to cover my vent and turn on my heat if ever they had the air on, if they got hot, because they're young. And one thing for sure and 2 things for certain, I will not make that just a white thing because I have a whole black daughter. And her likes air. Her had to cut down some air or show her mom some mercy because she felt me and felt how cold I was. Doctor just said today she's surprised that I'm able to do this 75 soft challenge because of what my iron levels were the last time she checked them. But I have been taking my iron a lot better. And even one of my people said that, made notice to the fact that I wasn't sitting around freezing. I ain't saying I don't still be getting cold. I got cold. It's cold out there now. And my eyes is a little affected because I just came from out that cold. Taking something to the trash can. And I'm on the water. So when it's chilly, like when I was staying, where I was staying at in the room is literally like right around the corner. And when I was staying there, you could feel this water from there. And it's further away from the water. Like when I tell you, I see the water when I do that. I'm pointing at the water. You couldn't see the water from my old place. I used to have to ride my bike. If I was going to ride my bike for exercise, I rode my bike to the pier, and there's a bike trail and a walking trail. So whether or not I was going to be walking or riding my bike, I was going to have to make it down to the pier and then do a such. Now I still would have to make it to the pier, but as far as seeing the water, I can look out my window and see the water. You couldn't do that from the other place. So yeah. Yeah, so it's a little chilly out there for me today. Howsoever, I'm believing that my blood work should say that my iron is better. But I have been saying I'm doing this challenge in spite of what my body feels like. She also told me that she doesn't believe that I know what it feels like to feel good in my body because my levels have always not been the greatest. So that's what we're working on right now, getting these levels and things at an effective place. Now my thyroid levels, they're good. They're good. I look, the levothyroxine, they're good. But them irons, that's always been a struggle. So you guys, what was my life? I like gum. And you learn that you're just not supposed to chew gum when you're doing things. And when I tell you I know that, I want to say in recent as far as this platform, because I think I had some gum in my mouth once before. The juices kind of went down my throat while I was talking. But I just some juices, and sometimes water, well, no time is water juice, but sometimes it does not do what I need for it to do to get the juices flowing. And so I had some gum. I don't even buy gum, but somebody gave it to me, so I took it and I'm gonna eat it or chew it. So my dumb tail spit the first piece that I had out in the toilet. My brain, sometimes it just does brain things. And when it brains, I just allow it to brain. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like, share, and subscribe. I hope y'all having a good day. I hope y'all are having a good day. It is hump day. What day is it? Hump day. We is halfway through the business week, you all. I guess we halfway through well, yeah. Yeah. Always, well, it is the business week, but it's the week too, because Sunday starts the week and Saturday ends it, so, yeah. Sometimes they know what they're doing. And then others, let's talk about day. Okay, so what I have been working on, because y'all know that I say that this platform deals with ecclesiastical, societal, and political oppression. Nothing starts without self-analyzation, so it's self-analyzation first. But then we talk about some other things, you know? I haven't made like, I have made little just like by way of videos, but I haven't posted any. I just make them and I never post them. Like, this thing don't be no joke, y'all. Don't be no joke. I have to keep my nosy factor off because I'm nosy and I be having my blinds up, and I just talked with the person that just crowned me as nosy yesterday. I have not talked to her in quite some time, and we were on the phone for like 3 hours, and I let her know that I talk about her on my platform often without even saying her name, because she was the one that always let me know how nosy I was. And I let her know, as I've been letting other people know, that that is something that I believe that the God has used for my good, and for its glory, for all intents and purposes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because Ephesians be talking about putting on the full armor. And y'all know I be studying to show thyself approved and everything like that. And I don't never be talking about nobody else don't be studying to show themselves approved. I just be talking about me. I just told the same person that told me I was nosy because she corrected me because I'm always stand to be wrong. I'm always stand to be wrong. I corrected myself on a part of it, and then she corrected me on a part of it because we was talking about the crystals, which is tomorrow. So I'm gonna save that for tomorrow because that's what we're gonna talk about tomorrow, about the crystals. So I have to remind myself. Is there a pen over here? There's a pocketbook over here. There's a pocketbook. There is a pen. All right, so we'll speak about that part of our conversation tomorrow. But when we were growing up, and this is my cousin, and her is, a year and a day older than me. As I was with my ex-husband. I was a year and a day older than him. We are January 10th, 11th, and 12th. She's the 10th, I'm the 11th. He was the 12th. He is the 12th. And so, yes, when we were growing up, she always let me know how nosy I was. She always let everybody know how nosy I was. Told me I was on every set. Off. And I've referred to that on this platform. And I've referred to that in the church house. When I told the first person, because I have been a firm believer for quite some time that the armor does not stop at the sword of the Spirit. It doesn't stop there. Because after it gives you the sword of the Spirit, it tells you to watch and pray. Watch and pray, watch and pray, watch and pray. And I said, we have come to begin. Look, y'all, this is a no-no, but I do it. And sometimes I'm going to do it. But I said we have come to acknowledge, pray, and just skip right over watch. I don't know. I guess nobody don't want to watch. Nobody don't want to admit they nosy. I don't know. But the God had told me to watch. When you watch, you see things. When you watch, you see things like body language, like I was talking about 2 days ago. You see things like people's body language when they talk, because sometimes your body language is going to speak what your mouth may not. Hey, not even just the movement, your facial expressions is body. That is unspoken communication. And I know plenty, up to and including myself. Welcome, y'all, up to and including myself, that will tell you about their facial expressions. I don't gotta say a thing. I remember that person had asked me, was I really a woman? And it's probably because my voice so deep, and I got very, very deep structure. It's structured up in this face. But yeah, I am. Into who? I'm supposed to, I'm supposed to go off on a tangent because I will forget something just that quick. Um, what was we talking about, y'all? Oh, body language. Yes, your body language will speak when your mouth don't. Your facial expression will speak when your mouth don't. So how can you read someone's communication that's not talking if you're not watching? How can you look in someone's eyes and see into their soul if you're not watching? How can you look at someone that may be in dire straits and get any inkling if you don't watch? I would even go so far as to say that watching sometimes entails reading because, when you read, gotta watch what you read. Like, gotta watch the words because people slip words in there and stuff like that. So, I was called to ecclesiastical, societal, and political oppression. So, what I've been working on is figuring out a diligent and effective way to bring those things and give them their own space and not allow them to run into one another because y'all, this is, I'm just being led and I'm watching how things have transpired and changed over the years, and I just wish oh so goodly that I was able to find some of my videos from my other page. But whenever I go in and I go into watch, well, I didn't finish today, so I won't say because I'm seeing that sometimes it shows different things. But that goes back so far that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get those. I have tried and tried and tried to get those videos, but it hasn't worked for me. So what I have come up with so far, since I'm supposed to be live, since I am to be live 5 days a week, is that I would tackle one subject a day and use Friday as kind of like a review or, a summary day of the things that I've gone over. Um, I think Friday is probably going to be like the day that I can do that template because I'm trying to figure out how to do this template thing. But I can post a little template of the reels that I did throughout the week. Like it's going, but I took I started by saying, and it's still on my spirit, that I wanted societal to be in the middle, but Monday night is when I feel, I don't know, something about Monday night is screaming societal to me, but I could be wrong. But I did societal on Monday night. I did ecclesiastical on yesterday. And so today I was to do political, and I'm just like, I didn't know how I was going to go about it because I will be honest, I'm not like uber Miss Politics, but I have begun to do more than I ever have coming into it because I know how it started for me and why it started for me, and I did not want it to be just that. Um, so I was like, I don't just particularly have the content. I watch the content and get the other ones. Well, I actually was watching the court channel to get the ecclesiastical. Well, it was part of the societal, but I carried it over into the ecclesiastical. I'm also trying to stay up on having my content posted within the week, a little bit from each. Um, I'm not going to be so hard on myself on that right now either. Um, because my internet I'm thankful for what I have, but it's a lot for um, posting the videos. It becomes a little more challenging because it's taking a little longer to upload things. I'm thankful that it's allowing me to go live. So I'm saying that to say that. So this is allowing me to get in the habit of being on 5 days. So once the God upgrades my internet, as the God upgraded my furniture in 24 hours. I'm not saying that my internet will be upgraded in 24 hours or anything like that, but I spoke on Monday about having no furniture, and on Tuesday I had furniture. So that part. Um, but as the God upgrades, it'll come together. But when I started saying I wasn't sure how I was going to get this political, and my peoples came to me. She always come through. I love me some her. And she was talking about a TikTok that she had watched. And she could not figure out what the senator's name is. So I'm not giving you a verbatim. I'm just going to give a rough run over of what she got out of what the young lady was saying on TikTok. She said the young lady was in her mid-30s. She said she was around her age. And the reason that I'm doing so is because I believe that it kind of matched what the president was talking about today about the debt ceiling. So it seems like they're supposed to be coming to an agreement about the debt ceiling so that they can economically catastrophic default. And this is not about paying their bills, they said. Not that we ain't gonna pay bills. You wanna raise the debt ceiling, the debt. When you're in debt, I like words. So when I read, I watch words. You know, I was talking about watching, so I watch words. So when you're in debt, that means that you owe. Now, I think, and I learned that America was raised on Christian, was built on Christian principles, and Christian principles come from the Bible, and the Bible says, "Oh no man, nothing." But debt equals owe, right? IJS and debt equals O, right? Okay. So debt equals O. Now let me just go back. Retro. Rewind. Let me just go back and say I'm glad you guys can compromise. You know, because the Repubs have the Dems. They all's out there working together. You know, those are all the. I think some of them don't. You know, they have. I'm gonna say they have some things in common. I'm just gonna keep it nice and say they have some things in common. But they working together to raise the debt ceiling, the self-imposed debt ceiling. Don't let me leave that out. It's the self-imposed debt ceiling. Self-imposed means that you impose that debt on yourself. You gave it to you. All right? It's the words. They're fun. Words are fun, you guys. So you gave that debt to you because you were spending more. I'm just going with what the article says. President, just reading. You were spending more than you were taking in taxes, so you were spending a lot. But you won't pay your taxes a lot? You was spending what you ain't have? They had always told me that you're not supposed to spend what you don't have. That creates debt. And then you want to raise the ceiling. Now the agreement came to raise the ceiling so that y'all can keep spending more than you make on a dollar that has been losing its value for years. So that y'all can make some cuts. Now y'all gonna make some cuts. Now don't get me wrong, because the God has allowed me to see a thing that needs to be changed. with where they're making the cuts. See, my girl that the God had me to start following, I think that she is in total agreement. She said not a hand out, but a hand up. I think she might be totally in agreement. I'm not quite sure. But Angela Stanton King is not really for the government programs. Because that's where the cuts are coming, you guys. Catch it! Catch it! They getting ready to raise the debt ceiling so they can spend some more money. This is they or the caps. They getting ready to raise the debt ceiling because they supposed to have this done by Sunday when the president come back from Hiroshima. You feel me? Because if they, see, that was that juice that just tried to go in the wrong place. If they don't have it done by Sunday, then by June 1st, things can go awry. That's when the catastrophes can start. You know, that economically catastrophic default. When we stop paying our bills, we start losing our stuff. You can lose your car. You can lose your house. You can lose your freedom. IJS and y'all, IJS. Now, enough about DMs. Now let me tell you where my people's story tied in. And I just have a little bit on this because she said she thought the senator's name was Jackie, but she wasn't sure. But they were talking about dealing with the crime in DC. Trust and believe. I started watching the debt ceiling this morning at the doctor because when she said that, I had to think hard. Wait a minute, I think I just said something in reference to what you're saying. I couldn't think of it. I said, it was today. It was today. And then it came to me. Because that young lady said, how we going to work on crime in D.C.? When it starts at the head. All the things start at the head. All the things start at the head and trickle down. When I watched today at the doctor's office, because I came home and I read an article about it, and I forget, I'm not going to come out of this right now to say what the article was, but I'm pretty sure it was a legitimate site. How about it? Hold up. The router corroborated or correlated with what I watched today, so yeah. The United States is not going to not pay their debt, is what your president said. But to have debt, that means that, what? If it's to a catastrophic rate, a economically catastrophic default rate, don't it mean that it was already a little bit out of whack? So that's all I said. I said the same thing that the young lady said about the crime. Y'all is checking us for that like a moral buddy. While y'all around here raising ceilings to make cuts. And when I said don't get me wrong, because it is folk out there abusing the system. So when I say you might want to get ready, peoples, because they raising ceiling, they made an agreement to raise the ceiling and cut spending on government programs. You ready? And one thing for sure and two things for certain. Government programs is definitely not a black thing. Never get it twisted like it is. Because if you do, I'm going to need you to go do the stats. Hello, beautiful. Watch. Love you. Sylvie is out.